bodied. I think that their lanes are set up to do pretty well though. Again, I very much like the idea of like Snapfire Clock to maybe find some punishes here, and particularly like Snaking, you know, going to be playing on this Enchantress. We'll see if they can sort of deal with them, particularly since he won't have heal level 1. Decide to go for the impetus there, and it looks like it's going to be a trade-off, 2 runes apiece.
Finally, an even game. The last series we had, one side had 3-1. But
yeah,
just watch the winning stage. It's totally fine here. Enchantress is very, very strong because the impetus spam at that stage. You don't really want to go for the heal. You want to play more, and not so much sustain, and you're seeing is taking damage. She does more damage the further you are away. Clock likes to get in your face, do a lot of damage back. But Snaking's gonna mainly focus on collapse in the lane stage.
Yeah, trying to whittle him down if he can. Mira's gonna actually step forward though, and they do manage to get that creep away. Level 2 will be something to watch for, how these matchups go against each other. In mid lane, DK facing off against TSpirit. 9 gonna be trying to play around this dragon tail to secure himself some denies. Manages to get 1 there, but 6-1 start so far for Laurel versus the 1-1. Yeah, 9 kind of getting handled in the first 2 waves there.
Yeah, I think this is a Storm favorite matchup. I think you shouldn't miss a single CS on Storm unless he commits a stun. But if you're committing the stuns instead of getting breathe fire, you're gonna get denied as well by Laurel because you can't secure your.
That makes sense. Well,
so Laurel should free farm, but 9 should also free farm.
Yeah. Is definitely struggling a little bit with this one here, and even going to use that pull, get a deny back towards mid. But Mposhka caught down bottom, Saksa over there, able to force him back. The leap forward actually manages to get on to 33, but Yadaro is going to have to play this a little bit carefully. Doesn't have any points in Dark Pact yet.
He'll pick it up at level 3 for sure.
Yeah.
For now, he wants to put on some aggression, maybe get a pounce and do some leap into some star storms. The position 5 Miranas don't really go. Right. Most of the time, you don't want to steal your carry's range creep, and on top of that, you generally don't have the best setup stuff.
God, and I just keep on, as we take a look at top, I keep looking back towards mid, thinking things are going to go better for 9 here on the DK, and he does keep on getting denied out pretty well by Laurel. Obviously, you're not going to be able to like put a ton of pressure onto the DK to try and kill him, but in terms of sort of CSing, he's outplaying him pretty well.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much straight up an outplay. I think 9 tried to outplay him, which I believe was a mistake, and he's kind of regretting it now. Him getting the stun was his attempt to being like, I'm gonna crush this lane, I'm gonna win hard. But if you don't execute it, you're in a situation where the reverse will happen. You'll get outplayed. So unfortunately, his build selection did not work out this time around. Whereas if he would have just went breathe fire and passive, he would have got so much CS. It should have been even, but he'll never win the matchup.
Right. Well, nonetheless, no first bloods yet, but a good amount of farm up top for skiter, and he's been able to have an okay time against the Snapfire. No real danger yet of that much going badly. Snaking now is going to unblock that camp. Well, you can see 33 farming at the bottom side of the camp. Also, they throw out a bushwhack, going to connect onto Mposhka, but with leaps and star storms, gets a little bit of separation, even doing some good damage there onto that hoodwink. To be careful about his positioning. You go for the snipe. Mposhka thinking about it. That's too scary. Oh, they're baiting. He might whack again, and he does just get brought down. Saksa just too good on this hoodwink.
Yeah, he definitely baited him super hard there. We do have like the Dark Pact now for Yatoro here. If he does want to use it, he can remove those stacks. Because for some reason, these stacks on the axes last for 12 seconds.
Right.
It's a very, very long time. What I'm most curious to see is if they're gonna, on Tundra, start stacking Ancients. That became really popular, where you go arcane boots, axes, might loot your lane a little bit, you might win it, who knows, but you always have those stacks to rely.
Yeah, it feels like they're not really able to get that much out of the early setting of this, but up top, skiter gonna be found. They have the scatter blast level 2, good damage out. Will it be enough? Yes, Mira gets the kill. So not bad at all. As soon as Ench leaves for a moment to go get a creep, they managed to find that kill into Bloodseeker.
There's not a lot you can do. It's either you don't farm or you die, pretty much. Yeah. If you're as soon as your Ench leaves, because you got the cookie, you can use it on a creep, you can use it on clock, you can use it on yourself. Either way, you can't go in melee range. They're both there. That can be quite annoying for them. And Laurel's level 6 now with the Falcon Blade, completely free farming. Going back to base, we're gonna have to see what he chooses to do with his teleport scroll. Does he want to kill skiter again? That has no TP scroll. Or he's thinking about it.
But needs to be wary because in mid, 9 has already popped a Saksa, taking some good damage. Miposhka trying to find a kill, but able to get there with the bushwhack, jumps forward. Stick charges pop to keep him alive. And Miposhka now revealed with the thirst going. They did bring Laurel back, and he's going to be blessed with an illusion rune in mid. And that keeps this tower from taking too much damage.
Yep, that's one of the things when you play against DK you have to be careful about. If you ever do leave, he'll take your tower. Sometimes you can alleviate that by bringing a support over, which I think Miposhka probably could do at this point. The Toro level 5, closing on 6. Beastmaster only level 5. No HOD. If they want to make that play, they can. Otherwise, Laurel will just sit there and call.
As up top, they managed to find another kill. So snaking a bit far forward, they're playing around the vision they had from that ward up on the cliff and able to put some pretty good pressure onto this here.
Yeah, the battery is still doing double damage to creeps. Quite nice against it. Kill off some of these early level creeps pretty easily as he chased down the ghost well after killing.
Well, so far they haven't been able to build up stacks on the side of Tundra for that Beastmaster. Don't know if it matters the most. Well, Collapse is almost finishing off some arcane boots up top here, which should set them up to continue the spam, but needs that refill of mana before he can go again.
Yeah, we talked about the Slark versus the Beastmaster and the troubles it might have, right? And 33 is top of net worth. They not addressed Beastmaster at all in this game.
Right.
It's getting quite scary. He did not go for the axes. Well, he does have axes leveled, but he didn't go for like the stacking build into the arcane boots. So he has his HOD creep already. It's online. He's sending a board a stack now, but as a Slark, this is what you don't want to deal with. The fact that the enemy Beastmaster, top net worth, HOD online, up 8 minutes. He's level 6 now, but he can't deal with this creep. You're gonna have to rely on the Mirana to deal with it, but Mirana kind of has to help mid.
Saksa takes some good damage as they did have that haste rune taken away. Yadro pops his ulti down bottom, going for the kill, takes down the Hoodwink. And looks like he's going to be able to get out of there. Doesn't manage to connect with a stomp. Canceled it there, in fact. And with Miposhka moving in, wants to arrow the creep, finds it. Easy peasy. That was, I mean, that was perfectly dealt with by TSpirit.
Yeah, it couldn't have got much better. Yatoro 2v1 gets a kill. He was a little short from level 6 on 33, and the Shadow Dance there, dodging the bushwhack. It was honestly just really good.
Miposhka gonna do it again. Holy crap, he's looking for it. And 33, we gotta protect his creep. Thinking. Arrow? No, not gonna connect.
I was praising 33 for his micro, but he already lost 1 creep now. Unacceptable.
Unbelievable. Dude, they're putting so much emphasis on this. So Miposhka is going to get found here by Saksa. Get some good damage in there, but they're in the camp so that way he won't be able to get another creep if they kill this one. And looking for the angle, trying to find an arrow, Miposhka can't quite get it. Well, over in the jungle, Mira and Collapse trying to find kills. They're underneath the ward.
Peter got kicked out of his lane. Snaking's gonna take the lane. It's not safe for him, to be fair. Collapse is level 6. If you step up, you're gonna die. They got the kisses online. Skiter realizes it's not safe there anymore. So not really in the best spot. I thought Yatoro might also be in a poor spot, but getting that kill and then Mapoche killing his creep right after with the arrow bought him a couple more minutes to farm him safely.
Is under attack.
Potentially more.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they want to go back now and clear up these stacks for 33 potentially, it also gives them more time there. Laurel in mid, runs forward, gets stunned, but gets the bomb. Arrow now connects. They still manage to find the bushwhack. Laurel dodges away from some of that damage, pops the arcane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like he's gonna be fine. Do they want to come in and fight? Maposhka just gonna get roared, and yeah, that'll be an easy bring down. But they know that those ancients could be getting taken pretty soon here now.
Yeah, luckily 33 has no mana right now, so won't be able to do it until he more mana on his side, but they're protecting it for now. Probably stack it up one more time.
There you go.
Can they get on Skiter? No hook shot available, so there's your option.
I think he's okay with collapse nearby. Cookie chasing.
He brought back.
Wanted to do what damage he can, and they got him. Keeps him alive there. Snake King now in trouble. Jumped the pawn. Maposhka triple leap forward. Arrow off the mark though. Now they do have a scatter blast, but can't quite get in range.
Yeah, they almost turned that, but literally the courier just brought the mech for collapse. That saved the Clockwerk's life. Talk about good timing there.
Yeah. Well, somewhat stratified net worth graph in terms of where everybody's at. You can see Slark on top, 5,200 versus the Bloodseeker at 4,200. So 1,000 gold separating all of these cores, and Skitter's getting closer to his Maelstrom. No safe laner really under that much fire, and the fact that Yadro has been able to stay down here bottom has been really clutch for him.
And make a Midas. Was able to get a really early Midas, so he's gonna pull ahead and farm. I would say in Yatoro's position, he is beyond happy. He's having the freest game of his life. And he is not very happy. He's definitely not happy with how these things are going. Sure, he didn't die that much in the lane. He only died once. He's 0-1 and 0, but he's having a hard time finding a home right now where he wants to farm. Barely sitting at level 7. Yatoro with the Midas in on level 10 here.
Radiant's bottom
really enjoying
tower
life.
is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Goes back to farming it, as he was a little worried about the movement coming in from Tundra. There are a lot of heroes down bottom that are going to take this tower, while simultaneously Collapse was able to take down the top side map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Getting away some vision, he's warding the observer ward. Saksa makes the move, but in towards mid, TSpirit, they're already starting to put some pressure onto that tier 1 tower. As soon as Skiter moves over, everybody's going to back up.
I can't emphasize enough how important it was for Spirit to win that top lane. Because if they would have somehow lost top lane and Skiter couldn't sit there, they'd be in a situation where they'd probably never get that top tower, where you're playing versus a Beastmaster, you're playing versus a DK. You're losing your mid tower, you're losing your bottom tower pretty easily. So the fact that Collapse got that tower pretty early, put him in the position where the trade isn't super bad. They might just want to defend their mid tower, but it's kind of low as well. So you have choices to make. Do you sack your mid tower on Spirit, play for the late game? You do have the Midas available. You do have the Storm Spirit. I guess you don't have a choice when they take the angle like this. You know, lose your mid tower, pretty much no commitment. But what more can you do with this if you're Tundra? They don't necessarily have to go high ground or in the game. They just want to get in that positioning so they can farm more than you. Slark's a good hero at de-warding some of that deep vision, right? And reclaiming some of the area that they may lose. So the position's not terrible for Spirit right now, as long as Yatoro continues to have a good game.
Well, and these jumps, this is perfect for him. If they can find Skiter here with the Mortimer's Kisses run down, and they do indeed do that. I mean, that sort of slightly greedy farming has been what has made Tundra so successful in the past, but now they end up getting punished. The Bloodseeker goes down as they get the trade kill for the Clockwerk, and now TSpirit trying to put again some pressure onto the mid tower, not able to get it quite yet. Snaking, he's going to be zipped on. Laurel finds him. Good damage in and enough for the finish.
Yep, 2 agility for the Slark here. This Slark is quite powerful in this game, though. I will say that. And in a lot of Tundra games, I do see 33 top of the net worth master. That probably won't change. I normally don't see skiter having this bad of a game.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a Maelstrom yet. Closing on 15. Some of these moves from Tundra really need to kill. 9 is also playing Dragonite. This isn't the best scaling hero in the world. Unless you can get some kills and get to the point where you the Ags and Anthem, stuff like that.
Yeah, he needs to make those connections happen, though, and you can see the way TSpirit are playing this. They're just out and away before the smoke move comes on in, and they're playing around where they anticipate the rest of Tundra to be. Now, Mira does have Rocket Flare ready to go, spotted him for just a moment there, and 9 jumps forward, but the cookie away. Now 9, he's in pretty deep. Arrow goes out, connects onto a creep, it looks like. And they won't be able to do anything else, but all under vision of this Hawk and also an observer ward down makes it really scary for Spirit.
These moves are, since nothing connected, is basically just letting both carries free.
Dire's bottom tower is under
You definitely
attack.
need. At the same time, Yator is farming faster. Peter can TP to the Ancients here. Mira, he has hookshot available. Do they see this? Why?
Definitely do.
Running for him.
Oh, Skeeter, he just came back to life, but the creeps.
Dire's
Oh,
bottom
that
tower
keeps him
is
alive.
under attack.
Might have been able to live anyways, but
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. They had a ward there on the Radiant there. That's why they scouted him walking to there. But yet again, a situation where he just has to find a new
Dire's
home
bottom tower is under
to
attack.
farm.
at some point this game, Spirit are going to need a gem because these Hawks are devastating.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And they have Slark, one of the best gym carriers in the game, so...
Jumps in, finds Skeeter, or rather, excuse me, Saksa. Connection, Cookie away from the center Conqueror, hook shot out, they find one and kill him with the kisses. Snaking able to sprink his way out of there, but a rare thing seen, 2,000 gold lead ahead of Tundra. They tend to thrive on just outmaneuvering teams on the map, but Spirit doing a good job of staying right there with them.
Yeah, this DK Beastmaster together is starting to feel a little awkward.
With a roar.
Is under attack.
That's it. Good connection for the kill onto Laurel, and now going to try and take down this tower too. An ancient Thunderhide
Top tower
standing
is
strong. Mir puts down the cogs to try and buy a little bit of space for Collapse to get away. Cookie's in. Did have a Fairy Fire, couldn't pop it. 1 second away from Greaves, and now Yadro shows up. He's gone in pretty far, but I guess with no rupture, they feel confident with that. Still a bully move coming out from Tundra as they just managed to take that tier 1.
Yeah, right when I said these two heroes starting to look awkward together, they finally get the chains done on the Storm right away, kill him. And then Skeeter, I think that was the biggest play of the game for him so far. Getting that rupture onto Collapse there, having some game impact. I feel like if you're just sitting there hitting creeps, that's not going to be good enough. He needs to find a way to use this rupture. It is quite good this game if you can use it versus Slark, if you can end up using against any core, really. In fact, scratch it. If he can just end up casting it whenever he has the opportunity so his team can get more kills, that's going to be the most impact he can have for a while. Because if you look at Slark here,
Yeah.
he is really close to this. And once he finishes that, Toro's going to start playing much more aggressively.
I think it is a very scary state of affairs when one carry is 3,000 gold ahead of the others at 18 minutes in the game. Like, that's some scary stuff. Yadro
It definitely is.
still standing strong.
Dire's
They
top
have a
tower
mech
is
on
under
Hoodwink,
attack.
actually. He's going to go in for Greaves, it looks like. I haven't been keeping up with the Hoodwinks items as much, but trying to build these auras where they can because Beast is going for other things.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go those items per se. Like I'm sure he'd rather go for the shard and an E-blade. That's definitely more fun. But Auras are just so OP in this patch. You just got to do what you got to do.
True. Well,
So Collapse really wanted to use Mortimer Kisses with Mira, but I can't find the opening. Oh, again!
Even
Roar onto Laurel. I said lore, but it's Roar onto Laurel. And then Mira, he is also going to get caught and killed in his cogs. And guess who's the culprit? Another Hawk is scouting out this farming storm. The Hawks are doing everything this game.
They are for sure. These are something that you probably shouldn't get caught out to by a Beastmaster without a Blink Dagger as a storm, but you mentioned the Hawks have been placed nicely. They don't have sentries in all parts of the map trying to deal with that, so it is what it is at the moment, I suppose. But these deaths on Storm are really starting to add up as he queued up a Lincoln Sphere and then queued up into smoke directly after. But these Storm Spirits, we need to see some connections. Like, you're picking Storm. It feels like Laurel isn't really finding any openings to make things happen on the map. Find a way to play around Collapse. If he jumps anyone with the kisses, things can happen. You can make stuff happen. I don't want to see him farm his way back in this game, even though it is technically possible. But I think Tundra are going to start turning up the heat pretty soon here, because they have the heroes that can do it. They can run at your buildings, and if you don't have a response to it, your building's going to die. Just like Mira, he's also going to die. But his building's going to die directly after.
I think that all of these moves have been started with just 9 finding a really good blink target stun, and then the follow-up is just instant, and there's been no chance to cast any abilities, which is something you've got to be pretty concerned about on TeamSpirit, as they will find a kill now. So they zip on in, manage to bring down that Hoodwink, get one more glob there on the Snake King too, while simultaneously up top, Yatoro gets pressure onto that tower. So they do lose the tier 2 bottom for Spirit, but holding out, and this sort of holding pattern around tier 2s and the Roche timing is always really weird to see, but I think right now Tundra have sort of found a little couple moments of life for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tundra's draft has at any point can come back into this game. Right. They're setting up on Yatoro, but he does have Lincoln Sphere, so
yeah.
Or are you? Oh, that was perfect.
What?
He thought there's a DK in front of me. I can just TP. I have Lincoln Sphere, but Snaking pops it with enchant. Gets instantly stunned afterwards. So,
dude,
whoopsie.
That's crazy greedy. He had Shadow Dance.
Yes, he did. And the point I was going to make until he died there, Tundra were happy with the state of the game because they knew Spirit couldn't rush. There was no way they could do it, so they could push bottom. But that's not the same case for Tundra. So Tundra end up in front of Roche. Roche is dying.
Oh, man. Yatoro. That one hurts.
Oh, but Mira
shot in. The play. Mira, will it work? No, it won't work. Oh, man. The last couple of minutes have been pretty rough for Spirit.
Yeah, Mira's trying to make something out of a bad situation. His death itself, he'll be back soon. He baited the roar. It's always that.
True. Nailed it.
And you were talking about the drums of Slom?
Yeah.
Might be getting them.
The good old drums. Well, he saved his Shadow Dance for this, so that's good.
Just learning from your mistakes.
God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get out of there. He's got to run away. I mean, I think this is a really scary situation now with, like, Yatoro not really having damage-y items and trying to get into the Aghanim Scepter, and Tundra, I don't think they're looking back. They're ready to keep going for more. Wait.
Like we talked from the draft perspective, right? You make 1 or 2 mistakes on Spirit, your face is gone. Yeah. Make a couple mistakes as Tundra versus Spirit's draft, it's fine. Just go again. You're just kind of a little bit behind here. As we saw, they weren't able to amount much with the advantage they get on Spirit. Also 3k advantage. They're going to smoke down to the bot lane here. This potentially could work. Yatoro's cutting top wave. But if you just go down mid lane as Tundra, and Spirit don't find a pick on bot lane, what do you do as Spirit? You're going to push way slower.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Soxa can read this out.
Doesn't look like it, as the pull's going to be there, and they will manage to get that pretty quick kickoff and also get the tower likely. So TeamSpirit finding a little bit more momentum for themselves. Back towards mid, Yadaro gets caught, but was able to block with the Lincolns that rupture. So a little bit of a mixed execution there by Tundra, but they will still get the tower.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, they got bot tower plus a hoodwink kill, so that did favor Spirit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As long as Hawk doesn't die here.
Collapse barely gets out of there. And Mira TPing out underneath the Hawk manages to escape, so they get out with everybody.
Bounty.
Drums with Slom here.
Yeah.
These look unironically quite good versus Slark, right? He wants to sit in his shadow dance, just
That's true.
pounding those drums. Shadow dance, it could be good. It could definitely be good. He does have Ags now available, so he might have to retreat. But the thing about the drums is, oh, let's see.
The hook shot ends up being a little bit weird. They get the BKB out from skiter. Trying to buy more time. Mira eventually going to die to get the roar now onto Laurel. Zip in onto 33. BKB wearing low on that storm. The big creep about to die finally gets brought down. Yadaro backs away. Courier nearby him too. The jump forward, the double leap, and the kill. Finds themselves a snake king. So 1-for-1 exchange. Skiter has to be careful.
Can't let them see
Even with
us.
that Aegis, could get bursted.
Yeah, he has no BKB. He should be a little bit careful there. Popping Moonlight Shadow, gonna get out on the map here.
Chasing.
Toro does want to play the game now.
Finding him. Dangerous. Immediately Midas out and then jumps away. Too scary for him to go for any more.
Just getting some stacks. More stacks, the merrier. It's nighttime. Nighttime Slark. This is when he's the most scary. He sees you, you don't see him. Oh, and he's actually just game sense there from 9. Getting out of there.
And
So the next 4 minutes during nighttime is going to be TeamSpirit time to shine here. So they might actually have to play this defensive with the Aegis on Tundra.
Yeah. I mean, that is a scary timing. And I think that there's some amount of them being willing to sort of sit back. Oh, wait a minute, though. All right, they find Soxa trying to D-ward, gets punished. 33 still stepping forward. And he now is also going to get caught. And in the shadow dance, do they want to go for more Mortimers? Backs away. 9 a little bit separated from the rest of his team. They both have vision here. Both teams with the ward up on the high ground. Passes over the Lincolns. Zips back in. Finds him for the catch. The jump forward with the cookie too. Roar is there, but ends up roaring himself. Creeps doing a lot of damage, but the back away Yadro turns to fight Skiter. Gets pulled back in, but gets the regen from the Slark dying. Aegis down. Laurel needs to get away from there. The cookie is out. TP to try and get away. Is it going to be enough? Yes! Barely survives.
Yeah, the beast.
Wow.
Didn't realize he foregone the Hawk Aghanim shard to do the root. So not able to root him there. Just really wants to get into those drums of Slom.
Yeah.
Doing this quickly. Most of the time you always see these beasts go straight into the shard, reduces the cooldown, gives you the root ability. Quite nice, but we'll have to see how good these drums are. I personally didn't see them very much.
No.
So I am very curious to see how they're going to perform in a game like this.
So I think that what happened was there was 1 drums of Slom purchased in competitive Dota, like since they were introduced. And then in the space of 1 day of EU DPC, there were 4 of them purchased. So like it went from basically never being done to like becoming this very trendy thing, and everybody was going for it. It was very weird.
It's also kind of unexplored because if you look at the old, I'm going to call it the old build, even though it's still very current. Like you just build auras on beast. You're an aura bot. Maybe you buy BKB. Maybe you buy some initiation. And then it slowly turned into, oh, you buy arcane boots, you max axes. That became the normal. And now it's, oh, I have another ability that can do magic damage that can help me scale. It does make sense. It's just something that people haven't wanted to
Lincoln's already popped. They have another one to pass over from Collapse if they want to go for more. Chase down, backs away. Skiter looking for vision, not going to find it. Still, Soxa steps pretty far forward. Laurel there goes for the pull. They get the roar immediately. Can they bring him down in the duration? Doesn't look like it. Hook shot follows up. Soxa tries to back away. Yadro on his tail. They find the hoodwink. Mira on the other side is going to die, but catches 33 in those cogs, so they want to keep going for more. Stun is out. Immediately Dark packs it off, but the vision was there for the Slark, and he got brought down. Laurel not able to TP, and Tundra win a huge fight, and with no buybacks, they're going to run down lanes.
I really think Spirit is not on the same. I saw Yatoro go in, pop his Shadow Dance, bait out the BKB, the Beast, which I thought was a win, but he had no Shadow Dance. He didn't purchase the shard on Slark either, and then Laurel just jumps in on the hoodwink, uses BKB, and you can see Yatoro hesitate, like, I don't really want to do this, because he didn't have Shadow Dance up. It was up in 30 seconds. Commits anyway, because his team committed, then ends up getting punished without his abilities being ready.
Yeah. A rare miss there, big misplay ends up getting them in a lot of trouble. 1,500 damage was done by Rupture onto that Slark in that last fight. And with double Lincolns on their team, I feel like you can't afford to have Slark get ruptured. And maybe speaking again to that sort of not everybody being on the same page about how they want to play it.
Yeah, it's definitely just miscommunication or no communication. Oh, he hooks a Hawk.
Speaking of it, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Hawks have been rough. They've really been messing up what TeamSpirit want to do.
If you recall to the bottom fight where Yatoro also died to a Rupture, that one's a little more on him because he put his Lincolns on the Storm in that fight.
Yeah.
So he didn't have his own Lincolns and he got ruptured for free there. So that one was more of like a wolf. That last one was definitely communication. We're seeing Yatoro. I think he just has to buy BKB at this point, because every time he goes in, or perhaps a shard, something that can help him stand his ground for longer. Like this Basher isn't going to fix his issues. His issues is he can't sustain the fights.
Oh, Collapse is dead. Yeah, that's a problem.
He does have buy, but they're going to lose mid for sure. I think Tundra will just back off now.
This is something that's super interesting about Tundra as a team, is like when they lose, it looks awful. Like, it's like, what is this guy doing? They're running all over the place. They just like can't find a way to get back into the game, and things just fall apart. And there's games like this where like they never look out of control. Every move that they make feels calculated and on point. They're such an interesting team in that regard.
Yeah, I think when you play in regions that have a lot of competition, sometimes make it in your head too much about ideas you should and shouldn't be doing, because you're winning and losing a lot, and a lot of teams will put a lot of more thought into losing, right? So you sometimes have a strategy in mind where you're overthinking what you could be doing, and that tends to make you look worse. But when you're winning and things are going well and you feel comfortable, the same could be said for Spirit right now. Well, they could be in a similar situation where they win, they lose, and when they're not playing well, they think about it too much. The other team starts playing really well, and now you're in a situation where one team's playing bad and the other one's playing good. And it can amplify the effect of how the other team looks. Because Spirit don't look like they're playing super well right now, where Tundra just look like they're playing good Dota. They're not doing anything fantastic. They're grouping up, they're buying Auras. And Spirit just can't find the opening in this game to make something happen. All you do is press BKB if you're Tundra. And what do you do if you're Team Spirit? You rely on Slark to do the damage, but he can only fight in the duration of, what, 4.5 seconds of his ultimate? He just bought himself another 3 seconds with a Depth Shroud, but he feels like he needs way more.
Well, I am seeing a lot of problems right now for the Team Spirit lineup. Granted, defending high ground is going to be a lot easier. It feels like some of those fights were sort of weird pick-off scenarios. Now they kind of have a clear way that they need to take these. We'll jump away. Again, Yadro, Dark Pack, TP out.
He tried to roar creep to push him and get him.
That would have been sick. And you know what? The TSpirit special, I've seen them do this a couple of times. That is now 3 Lincoln Spheres done to try and deal with this rupture.
Toro's like, everyone, Lincoln's me. But the thing they have to deal with, they have mainly Snaking has been breaking this.
Yeah. Finds him. Good damage. Oh, they find all these heroes. Good amount of damage on the Skiter, but he's still living through it. And Collapse already dead. Does have buyback. Do they want to come in and fight this? I mean, it feels like you must. Tries to zip, cut the wave. It hadn't even come in yet. The jump forward stun is there. Finding Poshka, has to leap away. Mira in more trouble. Arrow goes out, connects onto Snaking. They already bought and collapse. Yadoro right in the thick of things. Still has his Lincolns good and good to go. 33 turned upon, starting to build up these stacks one by one. Cookie pushes him to a weird position. And then it ends up being an entire set of racks.
Is under attack.
Oh, man. I think that there's some dynamic, too, where, like, the Cookie with Slark ends up in a weird situation where you're in the air for a while and you can't hit your buttons again. Because it looked like he wanted to pounce, but he got Cookie.
Yeah, I would try not to Cookie the Slark. Like, who's your Cookie target? Kind of talked about how everyone has their own initiation. And this game's just kind of winding down a little bit. Well, Storm has no buyback, Clock has no buyback. Slark still can't really fight. He can try. There's an Aegis. BKB is available for Beast.
Yes.
Yadoro's like, guys, I'm going in. Follow behind me. He takes down one. 40 stacks. Can Yadoro do it all alone? Yadoro, the god, tries to make it happen, but has to back out.
Beastmaster's beating the drums.
Not enough yet. I mean, he still has 43 stacks right now of Essence Shift. Yadoro, if there's ever a moment, it's got to be now, but it is really hard for him to go in. Passing over the Lincolns, thinking about a jump. Skiter has Rupture available. Another Cookie. They kill off the big creep, but against Megas, the game feels impossibly hard. Wanting to chase? Yadoro.
It's nighttime, though, Lyrical. This is where Slark shines.
He lost a lot of his stacks, but finds it there with the bash. He's done it out. Dark Pact, get away! The drums! They coming! There's nothing.
I don't think they've hit a single hero yet.
Yeah, we can look at the damage at the end and see what the breakdowns are.
And it says, yeah, I guess we go to the very
Well, Arrow does not connect onto Enchantress, and Snake King just waddles away. And now Laurel, he is hit. He is stunned, bringing down the DK. Okay, keeping this fight going. 9 though, Mantan walks away. He just gets out of there with his Ace Turn. Yadoro still trying to take down Target. Does manage to bring down 33. I think Yadoro is the strongest hero in the game, but I don't know if it matters. As soon as he gets ruptured like this, it starts to feel real bad. Turn. BKB wants to battle. Skiter. No. Not gonna happen.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Monster kill.
It just feels like, yeah, Toro doesn't have enough like teammates that do anything on his team. You pretty much have Collapse, who throws his ultimate.
Yeah.
3 BKBs. Laurel just feels invisible this game. Like, he has decent farm, but he's just kind of like an electric vortex, and that's it. He's not doing enough damage in the fights, not really feeling his presence very much. The Clockwerk, you can jump in if you want, but Slark isn't having the easiest time following up on like hitting someone in the cogs, nor does Slark want to be in the cogs. And same with Mirana, also having a hard time finding how to get in this game. He's missing a core that's helping do damage. That's the way I see it. So until Collapse does get to this Daedalus plus level 20, honestly he needs a 25 talent, they're gonna have a serious damage problem, because Storm maybe at 25 adds a little more, but not really. He's just kind of going for the stay alive with the Lincolns and the BKB build into the Aghanim. Not really forcing out much damage here.
I could see if somehow Spirit were able to sneak a Roche and like get the Ags onto Laurel, and then he could build one other item himself instead. maybe then they start to get into some like decent territory with Collapse getting level 20 and whatnot. But right now, as it stands, Tundra are in such a dominant position. Now, one thing that I do feel like sometimes happens with Tundra is they take like what seems like a winning position like this and try and extend it as long as possible, keep building up leads, become further and further ahead. And that can sometimes lend itself to mistakes happening, but I just don't see them making it this game.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about all the conditions that Spirit need in the far distant future, but the reality of the present and the now is they're playing versus Mega Creeps, and that is not easy to do. I think Tundra, I don't believe they're like going high ground just because that is where you throw leads. They've probably had a lot of experience going on the high grounds. I played with Snaking, I've played with Aoi specifically. Normally the type of guy that just doesn't want to take a lot of risks. You risk it. Why? You can play the game for 10 minutes longer and guarantee a win, or you can try and win the next couple minutes and potentially. Whereas what I'm hearing is they also find ways to throw while delaying the game, but I think from their perspective, that's probably just an unforced error that they could easily fix in the.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And if they play this out, you know, 9 times, you just keep sending these DK illusions in, they can do the business for you. And in fact, a rupture, Mira caught, broken, no buyback, Clockwerk gone.
Non-committal kill, but there's smokes right now on Team Spirit.
Looks for a jump. Opens up, Snaking, dropping low to the untouchable talent level 20. It takes him forever to die, and Yadro just has to jump away, trying to get out of there, but he's under vision. The cookie to try and escape. He will manage to get out of harm's way, but Tundra, they're in your base, taking these 4 towers down. Maposhka tries to redraw aggro. They're killing off the illusions, but there is not much left in the tank now. Don't have Dark Pack for 20 more seconds, and the 4th staff to back them away. They bring down 1, but the buyback is there from Storm. Slark already dead, has to buy back. They can maybe try and hold out, but I think Tundra, they're coming to end this game. If they die one more time on this hero, that's going to be it. They jump on in, find the Storm. He is gone. Yadro can't do anything. GG is called, and Tundra take game number 1 over Spirit.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Tundra Esports. Victory!